Hello, I'm Hannah Howard with the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'm excited to be hosting the Muscatine in Focus show this week. We've got 3 segments, 2 small business spotlights featuring Muscatine Mutual Insurance and the Mississippi Valley Child Protection Center, followed by a segment from Muscatine Power and Water. So first, let's go ahead and kick things off. Our first guest is Tom Norton with Muscatine Mutual Insurance. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Thank you, Hannah. Thanks for having me.
Of course, so tell us a little bit about your company and your role there.
So Muscatine Mutual Insurance Association is a property insurance company, not just an agency, but an actual insurance company. So we take in premiums, we invest those premiums, and then we actually pay claims out of those premiums and investment monies. So like this tornadoes and hailstorm that we had just here in recent days, we're taking care of people right here in Muscatine.
And I'm sure that's so important for them to be able to have someone local that they can trust to be able to help them through, especially with events like tornadoes, high winds.
Yes, and my role there is to provide management and leadership for our company. I also serve as an agent for the agency and actually provide the agency services for some of our customers. So it's very rewarding.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's hard sometimes because people are going through very difficult times, but it's very rewarding to be there when they need help. When the tornadoes came through Cedar County, actually there were 2 tornadoes that did damage to some of our customer base. In fact, my home farm, the home where I grew up in, was destroyed in the tornado, as well as all of the property on that site. And in addition, there was a farmer down the road that had a lot of his property destroyed. Fortunately, only did a little bit of damage to his home. But that night on March 31st, on a Friday evening, some of our folks went to his farmstead. And when I have met with him in the past, I've always reminded him that this can happen and does happen. And he always kind of looks at me like, I don't think it's going to happen to me. And I understand that because fortunately it doesn't happen to most of us. That's why insurance works. But in this particular case, he called me and he said, it happened.
Yeah.
And what he meant was that the tornado had blown their place apart and a grain bin was on the other side of the road. Actually, the mattress from my brother's house, a mile and a half away, ended up in his yard. And so just the devastation, just kind of the anxiety in his voice. And I reminded him that we were going to be there for him and that he could count on us. And you could just sense that kind of peace.
Yes.
That kind of, somebody's got my back and they're going to take care of me. I asked him if his family was okay, and they were. And so he was just grateful that they were all right. And he was also, then you could tell, was relieved that while it had happened, somebody was there to help him.
And what would you say makes Muscatine Mutual so unique?
I think the unique part is that we're a small enough organization to tailor insurance coverages specifically for our customer base, which is comprised mainly of farm businesses. About 85% is farm businesses, and the other 15% are homeowners here in the community and surrounding counties.
Wonderful. And you're here today to highlight a very important milestone. Tell us more about that.
I am. We're celebrating 150 years this year. And so can you imagine that? Back in 1873, there were some farmers and other community leaders that had the kind of foresight, and the kind of, intensity, passion to start an insurance company. So 150 years ago, we were started just 8 years after the Civil War.
Wow. 150 years of serving residents in Muscatine and Eastern Iowa is so impressive. Tell us more about the history. Because starting all the way back to the Civil War to now, that's a long time to build roots here in the community and serve a really important role.
It is, and I think a lot of folks wouldn't necessarily know that we're even around, but in the early days, they basically were what was called an accessible mutual. So you didn't pay any premiums until the end of the year, and then they saw how many claims they had, and then they divided up the claim damages among their customers. And so there was a director in each township, and that director kind of served as agent and also served as claim representatives. In the early days, it was only a fire insurance company, so there weren't windstorm or hail coverages as a part of the policy. But of course, in those days, fire was a real danger as it is
Sure.
today, and certainly there weren't the capabilities of being able to put those fires out.
Yeah, and so it certainly has changed and evolved as time has gone on.
It has. So, we've, over the years, it's evolved into a company that now provides perils for all kinds of things, including things like suffocation for livestock and all kinds of
Wow.
perils that we provide coverage for. And so we now have a customer base that, started with a handful of policyholders, and now we insure hundreds and hundreds of farm clients throughout the area.
Oh, wow. So what would you say to potential customers thinking about reaching out to you for their insurance needs?
I think what makes us unique is the fact that we can tailor coverages, but also the relationships. So, if you want to talk to somebody at Farm Bureau or other companies, and I'm not certainly saying that those aren't, bad companies, they aren't bad companies, but it's difficult to get to the CEO. Well, I live in Muscatine, I work in Muscatine, you can come into our office and talk
Yeah.
directly
Sure.
to management, talk to the claims people. We have one claims adjuster, so every time you have a claim, you're gonna work with and talk to the same people. So I think it's unique. We also have competitive products, and so we're excited about continuing to serve Muscatine.
That's wonderful. And what do you envision for the future?
Well, agriculture, is important, okay? We're bold on agriculture. Iowa is bold on agriculture. We feed the world. Our farmers that we serve in eastern Iowa literally provide food products that go all over the world, including their grain products. And so I think the opportunity for that to grow and develop will continue, and the needs that those farm clients have for insurance products to manage their risk will continue to be important. And so we think that our viability and our ability to serve those clients will only be enhanced as we go into the future.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else you'd like the viewers watching this to know?
I just want to say thank you to all those clients who've given us their business, trusted us with their property and with their livelihoods over the years. I want to thank our staff, our agents, and so many folks who have gone before me. I want to thank my friend Gary Lee, who introduced me into the business. He's in heaven now, and so we stand always on the shoulders of those that have come before us. And so thanks to those folks that started this business in 1873.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again on hitting that really impressive milestone. Thank you for all the work that you do serving farmers, families here in Muscatine and the greater region. And thanks for joining us today, Tom.
Thank you.